as you know, Finland is very dependent on exports and imports. Of course, we need all the energy coming from abroad, and we have to export our goods to pay for all that. Foresight is, of course, very important part of it, because you have to know, preferably in advance, where to market your goods. And in our case, the foresight is taken care of by our technology agency, which has permanent offices in United States, Russia, China, India, and then they are, of course, using our network to gather information. But that's the kind of main body responsible for foresight in Finland. We have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have a small trade policy department, around 45 people. Then we have our export promotion agency, FinPro, which is being reorganized at the moment. And then, as I said, we have the technology agency, Tekes, which is the kind of most powerful from the point of view that they have most money. We are trying to do good cooperation with all these three. And of course, what is new, and I think what is really kind of important nowadays, is that we get all the ministers responsible for different spheres involved in our export promotion, which is, I think, a rather new thing, and I think it's been a very successful thing. I mean, for example, our Minister for Education is traveling, promoting Finnish education system. Our Minister for Environment, Environment and Technologies, Minister of Defense, our defense industries, and so on. So we get rather kind of broad spectrum, and we can cover many more things, and with greater expertise if you just have a kind of Ministry for Foreign Economic Relations doing that thing. I think it's the most important trade policy development at the moment. As you know, it's the most important export market for the European Union as a whole. It's the second most important export market for Finland outside the European Union after Russia. I think it's a very good thing that we are negotiating. It does not mean that it's going to be very easy. On both sides, we have rather many sensitive questions. As you know, the civic society is discussing investments, GMOs, hormone beef, and all that. I think we can get over that if we are realistic, if we really want this, because if we need and when we need growth, both in the United States and in Europe, we need to boost our mutual trade. And of course, I think this is the right moment also to try to influence the international scene, the international trade rules, because we are still around half of the world's economy, and I think we have the right moment to negotiate a good deal for both sides. I think it would be very, very good if we would get more or less zero duties after this, with kind of sensitive products covered by quotas, tariff quotas. I think it would be very good to have more access to the US public procurement market, which is much more closed than the European one. I think we should get more access to US services markets. I think and of course then we could influence the rule-based system globally. I think that would be a kind of good basis for a kind of balanced deal.